Hey, our conversation with Milt Lady, the White Township Manager, brought to you by Marcus and Mack, a law firm representing injured people. Milt, good morning to you.
Good morning, Todd.
It's good to have you with us this morning.
Oh, it's always a pleasure.
Yeah. So here we are. We're in the middle of a winter season.
Winter.
And we finally had some snow for the first time this year. How'd everybody do?
Well, we did okay. We had some guys off sick, which presented some issues, but the guys picked it up and covered for them, so we got it done.
You didn't have to get back behind a wheel of a plow?
I don't think they'd like that. Too many mailboxes out there for me.
Yeah. All right. So that being the case, you do some, get a chance if you're not plowing the roads, maybe take a look at them, fix them up a little bit, do some winter maintenance, correct?
Sure. We do some patching and tree work and all that, but a lot of it's, when you're plowing snow and all that, it's wear and tear on the truck. So we're doing preventive maintenance on the trucks, fixing things up for the summer season, getting ready, doing preventive maintenance, that kind of stuff.
One of the things about a season such as this is generally we talk about the freeze-thaw cycle and how harmful that is on things like storm sewers and road surfaces and potholes and things like that. We haven't even had the freeze-thaw cycle, have we?
No, we haven't got below the freezing mark very much. So that might be good for our roads. It prevents that heaving aspect and all that. So we'll see. It's not over yet.
No. Hopefully it ends up being a money-saving type of winter.
It could be.
Yeah. All right. So also while we're out there along the road, so we're thinking about other things such as the traffic signal at Warren Road and Ben Franklin Road. So what's the update on that? That's been a project that's been in the hopper for a while. Yeah,
we were waiting for poles. It's a process. There's only so many pole manufacturers out there right now, so it presents some challenges. But we do have a delivery date on those. So the contractor, I saw the trucks parked out at the CVS store, so they're starting work today. They're going to be digging the foundations for the pole, for two of the poles. Since it's a phased project, we're only putting 2 poles up so we can get the left turn signal up, head up. But they'll start to work today, getting ready to pour those foundations and bore under the road to put the conduit in.
Okay.
That's progressing. Good to know.
Will there be any traffic impact by the fact that they're working there?
There'll be flaggers, but I don't expect in this portion of work. It's not until they start mounting poles and stringing lights and all that there may be some traffic lane restrictions, but there'll be no total shutdown or anything like that. The lights may go on blinker for a while, but we don't anticipate any issues.
That is a very busy intersection, and of course people need to be extra cautious anytime they're in that area, but certainly that's called for now. What's the projected end date, completion date?
We have to have it done by the end of April for the grant monies. There's a deadline. So the poles are to be delivered the 1st of April. So April will be the deadline to get that done.
Terrific. And that project is one having to do with traffic lights. I don't recall that there are any other traffic light projects in White Township, are there?
No, there's none at this time.
Good. You're pretty good. All right. What about other projects? For instance, so we're talking above the road. What's underneath them?
Well, sewer project, Fulton Run, we're still progressing there. The contractor's been there off and on. We're getting power. We're waiting for inspection there. But we are getting power to a building there. So as soon as the UV light arrives, we're hoping for startup in March.
All right. So that's coming up pretty quickly,
That's close too, yes.
Yeah.
Glad to get that project up and running and get those residents connected to the public sewer.
So that's Fulton Run. What's the scope of that project? How many miles? How many customers?
It's a small scale.
Is it?
There's only 10 residents in that. They all had on-lot sewage issues. So it was a critical project. It was in our long-range sewer plan to treat that area only because there's a stream nearby and the on-lot sewage concerns. So it was an environmental issue, so to speak. So some new technology that we're using there. If it works out, we get some running time on it. There could be a chance that we'll use that technology at a couple other areas in the township.
Retrofitting or just
Well,
new
it's
projects?
brand new. It's all brand new.
Yeah.
So places that don't have sewage, that we can't get public sewer to because they're either in a valley, we'd have to put a pump station in or something like that. This may lend itself to small communities, 10 to 15 residents that need sewer.
There you go. There you go.
Yep.
We're with Milt Lady, White Township Manager, this morning here on Indiana in the Morning. Let's take a trip out East Pike and visit the White Township Recreation Complex. Lots going on there, I imagine, with the spring season coming and still lots to go on in the winter.
Yeah, we're not done with winter yet. There's a lot of activities going on. We did start treatment of invasive plants out there. It's not accessible because the gates are closed at this time of year, but if you walk up to the picnic area, the area that there's 22 acres beyond the picnic area that's borders the interchange there. We have a company in there knocking down all the brush, taking care of all the invasive plants. It's quite impressive, the lot clearing that's being done there. We're just getting it accessible right now. We're not quite sure what our long-range plan is to build out there, but it's looking nice. It's given us a lot more opportunity to do something recreation there.
What kind of invasive plants are they?
There's just all these knotweeds and all the grub brush and all that that's coming in.
That's stuff that won't go away.
It just keeps expanding. Different clovers that are there.
Yeah.
But a lot of it's brush. You couldn't even walk through it.
Yeah. Boy, I didn't realize there were 22 acres in there.
Mm-hmm. It goes all the way down to 119 and 286.
Yeah. One of the newer projects in White Township is at Getty Heights.
Getty Heights, we put a little donation box in at the dog park. There is maintenance involved in that dog park. It's being used even in the winter, especially you get a sunny day, which doesn't happen too often. There is a lot of activity out there. So we did put a donation box up. If you got some loose change or a bill here or two, drop it in. It does help cover the cost of keeping that park up to snuff. And who knows, we may be able to add some amenities to it, some doggy play toys, things like that.
There you go.
Yep.
You back at the arena, you've got some things happening at S&T Bank Arena. And in fact,
we do. The Hogan Tournament, which is growing, it's up to 3 weekends now. One weekend starts this weekend with some older division teams playing. And then 2 weekends in March. The younger kids come into town, so that's a big plus for the community. Brings a lot of teams in from out of the area that use our motels, restaurants, and it's a big event. A lot of kids out there, so come out and support that. Next weekend we have the gun show on the 22nd, so that's always a popular event. Brings in a lot of people, so that's sponsored by a local gun club. So ask for your support there also.
All right, so that's out at the arena. Anything new on renovations there? Pretty status quo.
We awarded all the contracts for their grant renovation going on there. That's an $800,000 project. The final outcome of that is replacing insulation in the whole building, adding a new roof coating. There are leaks in the roof, so we're addressing those issues. But the big one is getting more energy efficient by replacing a lot of the insulation, a new dehumidifier on the ice side of the arena. The old one was undersized and was getting to be a maintenance issue. So that's a significant upgrade. An ADA accessible locker room will be put in. So some nice improvements that will all occur this summer and be done before the ice season next year.
Yeah. Okay. So you got Planning Commission tonight and Supervisors tomorrow afternoon, correct?
Tomorrow afternoon's a new time, 1 p.m. That's the first supervisor meeting of every month now is at 1 in the afternoon.
Anything big happen in Planning Commission tonight?
Nothing Planning Commission-wise. It's pretty quiet. Development and site plan-wise has been for the last couple months.
And what about the supervisors tomorrow? Anything on their agenda?
We have 6 appointments that are available for approval by the supervisors. That's for boards and commissions of the township. And we will be awarding hopefully 2 contracts for professional services. One is when we do these grants, we talk about grants a lot. There's a lot of upfront design requirements. So we actually have to spend money before we even get the grants to have either an architect or an engineer design a preliminary layout for what we want to do for DCNR to make those approvals. So hopefully we're awarding that for some renovations we want to do to the rec complex, replacing the playground that's up by the soccer fields, and also some paving and stormwater work. And then the other professional service would be we want to finish the Chevy Chase stormwater. This would be phase 3, which would be the upper half of the hill, replacing all that stormwater infrastructure and possibly doing some stormwater management along with that project.
There you go. A lot to do in White Township, even if it doesn't seem like there's a whole lot happening. There really is.
A lot of behind-the-scenes project work right now, preparation for summer work.
You know, when you enter into a winter and you try to anticipate what you're going to need in terms of road maintenance and plowing materials and the various things that you have to anti-skid, all those things you have to put on the road. And then you get a winter that doesn't turn out to be so harsh. Do you have the opportunity to cancel contracts, or are you locked in?
We are locked in. We do a state contract for our salt. So we tell in the contract that we're looking at a normal 2,000 tons of salt, and then we have a plus or minus of 40%. So we can go down to 1,600 tons or up to, 2,400 tons. Yeah. So we have a margin there. But if we don't, then the salt supplier can penalize us. But we've never had that issue. We have enough storage capacity that if we didn't use a lot of salt, we still could store it in our salt shed. Yeah. And not quite time to make those decisions anyway, is it? No. Well, yeah, because we've already put in for next year's salt. Salt requests. So those contracts are already in the works. So just last week I put in what we expect to use next year. Did you ask the groundhog yet what you should plan for next year? I was there. I went to the groundhog plant this year. Yes. Quite an event. Why? All right, Milt, thanks so much. We appreciate it. Thank you, Todd. Everybody stay safe. It is the voice of Indiana County, WCCS, AM 1160, AM 1160,